So here we have Frankie Stein Ghouls rule doll. So there's Frankie in the box. Then we have our strange French competition that we don't know how to enter or what it's for. So they're advertising for the DVD, which comes out in October at some point. And then we have Frankie waving happily with her giant hair. And again, it's a Europeanized box. We've seen some American reviews. They seem to all be Europeanized worldwide now, so it's not just us. So we have CGI packaging this time round, so we're in Coffin Corridor. And then if I turn the box, Coffin Corridor continues down here. And then we have the 4 girls in this particular part of the set on the back. Now, they're all for some reason the same height, even though Cleo is taller than Frankie, who's taller than Claudine, who's taller than Draculaura. So we have Ghouls Rule written in all of the different languages above their heads. So we have Ghouls Rule, Le Fête de Ghoul, and then apparently in some countries they're just calling it Mega Monster Party and Halloween. So, you know. So then we just have, check out this scary cool costume that I wear in the movie. I've seen a rumour online that some people have a box where it actually tells you details about the outfit, but that still remains to be seen. I've only ever seen it like these. So then we have DVD sold separately subject to availability, seeing as it's not actually out yet, doll and accessories. So then we have Coffin Corridor again on this side with the gargoyles and the lockers and the door frame and the competition sign. And then Frankie's name is written shinily on the top. So we will get her out now and have a look on the backing. So here is Frankie on the back packaging. So it's a kind of a purple, kind of desaturized version of Coffin Corridor. So it's all 3D again still. Frankie for some reason has a really long bit of hair coming out of her fringe, so we're going to have to cut that off. Next to her on the bat circle we have her cauldron of whatever it is she's bringing to the party. This blue thing that no one on the internet seems to know what it is, and her trick-or-treating type cauldron. So we have plain black stands and brush, and her CGI art card. And also in the pack we had another code to the competition that we have no idea what we're supposed to do. And for some reason we have ordinary basic instructions, just the same as a basic doll really, that still don't show that guys have opposable wrists now. So that can definitely go away, seeing as that's not even applicable anymore. So we will have a look at Frankie off of the back packaging now, and stand her up and talk about her outfit and stuff. So here is the Ghouls Rule Frankie out of the box completely. So if we start from the top, her hair is completely insane. She kind of looks like she's been taking hair tips from Helena Bonham Carter. So it's mainly black this time round. It's pretty much all black at the front and in the top. There's a slight bit of white at each side, and the back as well is apparently black, so it's just these 2 streaks of white. So the white streaks looks like they're taking inspiration from the Bride of Frankenstein in the movies by Universal Pictures. So on her face, as well as having her silver eye makeup, she also has these blue electric bolts on her left eye, and she has light blue lipstick, which is about the same colour as the bolts are. So her stand is completely failing because it's a really useless clip and a really useless stand, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the earrings that she's wearing are hexagons. There's 5 hexagons of various sizes, and they all seem to be riveted together in some way. So her bolts are metallic again. All of the special ones seem to have metallic bolts. It's like their thing that they do. So Frankie's jacket that she is wearing, he has a heart-shaped collar, if Random can actually turn it around there. So it's heart-shaped there, to about where the stand is, and the middle part of it is actually stitched to the back, which you can't see because of the stand, but it's all wide stitching around the outside, and then it's a very glittery material for her jacket. So she's wearing two pretty much identical cuff bracelets when you actually get to her arms. Cuff bracelets, which are hexagons, the same as her earrings. So that's all molded together. It's kind of like a hexagonal version of chains. So the shirt that she's wearing, I think this is naturally how the shirt's neckline is supposed to go. It kind of looks round if you take the jacket off, but that's how it naturally sits. So it looks like it's higher at the one side than the other. Knowing Frankie, that's probably how it's meant to be anyway. Both of the sleeves are the same length. So it's a kind of a glittery blue overlay to the hexagonal print underneath part, which I believe is connected to her leggings. So it's a kind of a hexagon chain print, the same as the cuffs and the earrings that she's wearing. And then the bottom part of the dress slash skirt is a see-through white material with silver thunderbolts. The material is slightly darker at the bottom as well, so that the lightning bolts stand out, and we have the same wide stitching around the edges as on her jacket. And her shoes, so they're high boots. The edges are stitched together rather than using zips or buttons, so it's all held together with stitching, and then it's also stitched roughly around the edges, and then they seem to have dunked her entire foot in glitter. So it's just a wedge, there's not really anything else there, it's just a cut off wedge, and the glitter is coming off everywhere. It's just on my finger just by showing you what the heel looks like, and it's all over the table. So we're going to have great fun displaying that with all of the glitter going everywhere. So she also has her masquerade mask. So the handle for it is kind of a jagged pipe which seems to have been welded together in different places. Then she has some kind of pipes coming off of there, and it's all stitched together very haphazardly into a lightning bolt shape. So that goes over the one eye like that. She doesn't really hold it completely on her face. You can kind of get it to hold it about there-ish. So if you wanted to angle it properly for pictures and things. So before I go on to accessories, just want to show you how strange this stand is. I don't know if we've got like a messed up stand or something, but that's actually how it's moulded. So we only have half a clip. So we have one of the ordinary stand clips. It should look like that. So we have one like this, but it's not snapped or anything. It's actually rounded off on the edge as if it's supposed to look like that. So I don't really know what's going on there. She seems to let it fit around her, but the actual stand itself doesn't fit in very well either. We might have to give her one of the spare stands which we are quickly running out of with all of the box sets that Mattel isn't giving us stands with. So on to her actual accessories and things. So we have the silly blue clip that no one knows what it is. We're just really hoping that it will actually explain what this is for when we watch the Ghouls Raw movie. To anyone who buys this doll after it's released in October, congratulations, you will actually be one of the first to know what it is before you actually open the box. So there seems to be a thing for her to be able to hold it, and we know that it has her little skeleton on there with the bolts in its head and some detail of thunderbolts and things, and it seems to be dripping some kind of blue liquid, but we don't actually know what it's for other than her holding it. So we have her cauldron. Now the handle on her cauldron seems to be bent forward a bit. We don't know whether that's how it's supposed to be or if it just kind of melted a little bit while they were moulding it. So it has blue liquid dripping around the outside. There's her skeleton with the stitches and the bolts. and then it seems to have screws coming out of it at all different angles. They've actually gone into quite some detail on the screws that are sticking out. They even have the little bit going around the outside. So that's her pumpkin type cauldron thing. And then she also has a cauldron of some kind of soup type thing for whatever party it is that they're attending. So there's like a green slime coming out of the top of the cauldron. It's a very thin bit that's just over the top because you can kind of see writing through the other side, probably copyright Mattel, made in China or wherever. So there are bolts and things there are bolts and things sticking out of the top of whatever kind of soup it is she's making, and possibly some kind of electric bolts as well. So it's all been haphazardly put together, probably by Frankie herself, and then it has little feet to stand on, and there's cracked detail in the metal and stuff, and then it has screws to hold the handle on, and lightning bolt and stitch detail going around the handle there. So that's her big accessory. And then the postcard thing that she comes with, we have the 3D CG art for her. There are some slight differences, like the neckline on the blue part of her dress. It seems to just go normally across rather than up on the one side. Her hair is slightly different, the fringe flicks up more to the side and she has more white in her hair. And her electric bolts look different. It looks more like she's trying to give herself Holt's tattoo but in blue on the side of her face there. And she isn't wearing her earrings. I don't think any of them are wearing their earrings on this CG art, so that's obviously different as well. And then we have the CG art for all of the girls on the back there, so we're just missing Claudine. We need to try and get hold of her so we can do a review. So I think that's everything, because the brushes are useless and we don't talk about them anymore. So that is Frankie's Ghouls Rule doll.